How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back for another week and I hope every single one of you had a really good weekend. Now, of course, it was the final weekend in the Premier League. So today we're going to focus on all the games, all the drama, all the talking points, and we'll see where everybody finished up.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
Now, before we get started, I want to get you locked down to the link in the description. The latest DTFC game. We do have our own YouTube channel and we're going very well at the moment is all I will say. Now, link in the description, our latest game. Please get yourself over. Make sure you drop a like and make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you think about the performance. And throughout the day, I'll get myself over there and I'll respond to as many of you as I can. Now, let's go and get into this, the final Premier League season, or the final games of the Premier League season, should I say. Wolves against Manchester United. Of course, Nuno is going to be leaving Wolves and it wasn't a farewell to remember as Manchester United won 2-1. Juan Mata gets himself on the score sheet in this game as well. But really, both teams, nothing to play for. Manchester United will be focusing on that Europa League final this week. West Ham against Southampton. 3-0 win for West Ham. They have guaranteed Europa League football next season. They've had a fantastic season. Sheffield United against Burnley. And this was a 1-0 win for Sheffield United. Burnley, they were safe. Sheffield United, they are relegated. Manchester City 5, Everton 0. Now, I don't think a lot of people are talking about this, to be quite honest with you. Everton had an opportunity of getting a European place, before the game. They could have actually had a Europa League place, given if results would have went their way. And they actually lost 5-0. And I just don't think that many people are speaking about Everton and their performances this season. Brought in Ancelotti, spent a lot of money, and they've ended up finishing in a poor place. And it's been a really, really bad end to the season for them. Manchester City, Premier League winners, and they're going to now focus on that Champions League final in a week's time. Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 0. Liverpool have clinched one of those Champions League places for what has been a disastrous season in the defence of the Premier League title for Liverpool. They have managed to come away from it with a place in the Champions League. So they will be very, very happy. Roy Hodgson, he has now finished as manager of Crystal Palace and it ends in a defeat. Leeds United against West Brom. This was a 3-1 win to Leeds United and they have had a fantastic season. They will find things a little bit more difficult next season as teams start to get to grips with them, understand them a bit more, and similar to the way Sheffield United had to deal with things. I think Leeds will be lucky in the sense that Sheffield United had to play their second season this season with no fans in the stadium, whereas next season, as long as everything's going the way it has been and should do, then fans will be back in the stadium. Fulham, they lost 2-0 at home against Newcastle. And Joe Willock again on the score sheet. That's 7 games in a row. Staggering. Newcastle, they were safe weeks ago, mainly because of Joe Willock. And Fulham, they are relegated. Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. This was a horrendous result for Chelsea. But they still managed to clinch a Champions League place. And I'll get onto the reason why in a moment. But, yeah, it wasn't great from Chelsea. Villa, I said before the game this would be a tough one for Chelsea. Fans back in the stadium. Jack Grealish returning from injury and everything else. And Chelsea just did not look that great. And if they play like that against Manchester City next week in the Champions League final, then they will get beat. And they're having a really, really poor run of form right now at the worst possible time. But like I said, they do get themselves a Champions League place. And the reason for that is because Leicester, on the final day of the season, have thrown it away again. Losing 4-2 at home to Spurs. Where on earth did that result come from? Leicester went 1-0 up. Harry Kane equalised. Leicester went 2-1 up. And then a Kasper Schmeichel own goal with just over 10 minutes to go brought Spurs back into that game. And at 2-2, Leicester was still out of the Champions League, but Tottenham were also finishing below Arsenal. But then watching that game, you could see that Spurs were going all out to try and get that goal. And there's no way it was going to finish 2-2. And Gareth Bale, he goes and gets the third goal. And then, you know, whilst Leicester are trying to salvage at least a draw, they break at the other end again and get a fourth in the 96th minute. So Tottenham are the ones that go into the European Conference League, or whatever the hell it's called, at the expense of Arsenal and Everton. And Leicester, they drop down into the Europa League. Arsenal, very comfortable 2-0 win against Brighton. Nicola Pepe with both goals. Very, very good performance. It's been a decent run, you know, towards the end of the season, bar that Villarreal game. But ultimately, too little, too late. And it's just a shame that we had that period around, you know, November, December, which has ultimately cost us. And when you go to the Premier League table itself, it's quite staggering, to be honest. I think that, in all honesty, Man City are the only team that can probably hold their head up high and talk about consistency. Arsenal finished 8th and they finished 6 points behind a Champions League spot. 6 points. In an absolutely horrendous, abysmal, awful season. 6 points. That shows not just how poor we've been, but how poor everybody else has been. Staggering. You know, 5 points behind Leicester, who have had a supposed fantastic season. West Ham 4 points ahead of us. Tottenham 1 point ahead of us. We finished 2 points clear of Leeds, 2 points clear of Everton. Then you had Villa, Newcastle, Wolves, Palace, Southampton, Brighton, Burnley, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United relegated. But yeah, staggering when you think about it. You know, and we've won our last 5 Premier League games. And I just think of some of the performances this season and the drop points and the difference that's made into, you know, being 8th and being in a Champions League reckoning. You know, you think of the Wolves game, the David Luiz situation. You think of Burnley, that was a draw. And the clear handball not given for Nicola Pepe. You think of the draw at home to Crystal Palace, the defeat at home to Burnley. Staggering. Absolutely staggering. I think there alone I'm talking about 10 to 12 points. That literally is the difference between where we are and no European football to Champions League football. Mind-blowing. But yeah, that is how the Premier League table has finished. Congratulations to Manchester City. Commiserations to Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United. It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure, and I can't wait to start going back to the games next season. Fans inside the stadium and try and get back to a little bit of normality. But there we go. We finish 8th, and I said 4 years or so ago, we are a top 8 club, and people need to start realising it, because it's going to be a while before it gets better. And yeah, ain't that the truth? So listen, if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.